What's up, Geeksters? It's me, Omar from Geekster Labs, and today I have a sponsored review for a really awesome product that was sent to me from Wuuk, and this is the Wuuk Wireless Cam Pro Kit system. So this is a security camera system that's available on Amazon for a little under $300 right now. I'll have a link down below in the description if you guys want to purchase one of these after watching this video. This kit comes with two 2K resolution wireless outdoor cameras and one base station, which offers local storage as well, so you don't even have to have a monthly plan or pay any monthly fees to use the system. So in this video, I'm going to give you guys the unboxing and show you what comes included with this kit. Then I'll talk about some of the specs and features of these cameras. After that, I'll give you a tour of the app, which is really the brains of the operation, and then I'll tell you how my experience has been while using the Wuuk Wireless Cam Pro Kit. So without further ado, let's get to the review. Alright, so let's see what comes in with the Wireless Cam Pro Kit. Let's pop this open. So here we have all the different components of it. So of course we're going to need our user manual, which will also have the setup guide and installation guide for how to use these. We have all our different accessories. I'll show you what's inside that in just a second. And here we have our two cameras and our base station. So let me give you some close-up details to show you what that looks like really quickly. The base station is actually very light and very small. So this is what you're going to use to connect to the router, as you can see right there in the back. And we have a USB ports, we have an Ethernet, and then we have the power cable right there and a sync button. So pretty small. It looks nice. So even if this was sitting on next to your router, I think it looks it doesn't look like ugly or anything. It's very simple and looks real nice and small. Not a very large base station. And I'll take out one of the cameras here so we can get a closer look at what one of these cameras look like. So the cameras aren't too heavy. It looks pretty sharp. It's pretty nice. Has a gloss finish to it, a white gloss finish. Actually has some weight to it, but not too heavy. So that's pretty nice. And I mean, overall it looks really sharp. Obviously waterproof, so all the ports and things are protected and plugged up. We have the IR sensor and the camera and everything like that. And then we have the mount in the back right there to be able to mount it to the brackets that come in it. So let's check out and see what the accessories look like. Okay, so here's what comes inside the accessories box. We have our two mounts for the wall mounts. We have two sets of screws with anchors to be able to screw those into the wall. We have our AC adapter to use this with the base station to keep the base station powered up. And it does include a USB type A to USB type C cable right here. I believe this is the charging cable which you would use to charge up the cameras. And then we have an Ethernet cable, a flat wire Ethernet cable, which is what you'll use to charge or plug in the base station to your router. So those are all the accessories. So these are all the pieces that come in the kit. So now I'll go ahead and install this, and let me give you guys some sample footage, give you the app tour, and talk about some of the features of this system. So looking at the cameras themselves, they're very well designed. They feel very durable, and they're definitely hold up. So these are weatherproof, so they will handle rain, snow. They're IP67 rated. As far as the camera goes inside of this, the lens in here, it features a 135 degree wide vision angle, so you'll be able to see a lot of things in your yard, whether it's the backyard or front yard. It really has a wide viewing angle. The resolution that the camera is able to capture is up to 2K, so 2K is 2304 by 1296 resolution, and then you can also do 1080p or 720. The batteries that are built into these are 9600 milliamp batteries. They will last months in this camera. Obviously it's going to vary depending on how active it is and what kind of active area it's pointed at. If it's in an area that there's constantly people walking in and out, that will use up the battery a little bit faster. But if it's an area like a backyard that hardly ever sees motions, it could last for months. This is also compatible with Google and Alexa as well. And with the base station, you can connect to up to 8 of these cameras. So there's 2 that come in the kit, but if you want to get additional ones, you can get 6 additional and have a total of 8 cameras all on the same base station in the same app. Okay, so now let me give you a tour of the Wuuk app, and this is really the brains of the operation here. The app is really well designed and it's very simple to use. So first off, we have the device screen right here, and we can see we have our Wuuk system, so that's what I called the base station, and we have our 2 cameras. So let me show you the setting options that come with the base station. So you can change the device name of the station. You can also change or check the local storage. The base station has 32 gigabytes of built-in storage, and it's using up 1 gig right now so far with all the recordings I have on the base station. After that, we can adjust the volume settings on the base station because it does make some noises when you're first pairing things up. Besides that, I don't think it ever really makes any noise or anything. After that, we can see our paired devices. So I have the backyard camera and the front yard camera paired up. And then below that, we have our connection mode. This is a new feature they just recently added. So right now I'm using the wired mode, but if you want, you can have it on wireless, and you can put the base station closer to the cameras if the cameras are further away from your router. You just have to have the base station plugged in, but once you have it set up, you can actually move it away. You don't have to have it hooked up to the router like I have mine. I have mine plugged in there because my cameras are pretty close to where the router is in the base station. But you can change that if you want. We have our firmware update, so you can update the firmware on here, which has already happened once on here, and always make sure you can keep it up to date. We have our time zone. We have our user management, so you can add multiple users. If you have someone living in the house that you want to have access to the cameras, so you can change that as well. And we have our network diagnosis and about device. So those are just like informational options. So here we have the two locations for the camera. So let me show you the settings for the cameras, and then I'll show you what it looks like when you do the live view. So for camera options, we have the device name. You can change it from whatever it's called. You can remove the watermark off there. So right now I have the logo and the date and time, but you can remove both of those and have nothing to show up on as a watermark. So motion detection on here. So this is probably the most important option of the whole app itself. So right now it's refreshing. There we go. So we have motion detection turned on. So it will notice motion detection, and with that it will record and notify me. We have our detection zones, which I'll show you in a second, and we have our detection sensitivity, and then we have our detection type. And so right now they have three options. So there's human only, smart alert, and all motions. So human only, all activities will turn on the camera, but we will only record and notify you of human activities. Okay, so that's human only. Smart alert is all activities will turn on the camera. We will record all activities, but only notify you of a human activity. And then all motions is we will record and notify you for all activities. So you can kind of decide which one works the best for you. The detection zone is very cool. So here you can actually select the area that you want to pay attention to. So right now I have it selected just in my front yard. So it's ignoring the street and the sidewalk and only letting me know when something enters that blue area, which is very cool. So you can specify if there's a spot where you don't want to have to be able to see, like if there's a plant that moves a lot, or if there's some areas like streets or things like that you want to ignore, you can select multiple areas and have it block out other areas and ignore them completely. So besides that, besides the motion, we have notification. So right now I do have it so it's sending notifications to me every time it does see an alert. We have power management. That basically tells you how much battery life is in the camera, as well as a few other pieces of information. We have recording duration, so you can change that to 10 seconds, 15 seconds, 20 seconds, or 30 seconds. I kind of wish it would let you do a little bit more or do a custom option, but that's the basic options it gives you for that. Then we have our dismount alert. Really great feature of the app. And I actually tested this out, and it is scary. So basically, if anyone actually removes the camera off the stand, and I guess it detects when you're moving it real harshly or trying to rotate it upside down to unscrew it off of there, it sends a really loud siren alert on the camera. I tested this out in my front of my house, and it like freaked me out. I had to run in the house because it was so loud. And it took me a while to be able to get the app open to be able to shut that off to where it would stop making noise. But this works really well, which is very good because obviously you're putting cameras outside. They're wireless. They're very easy to just like grab and run off with them if you really wanted to. But the fact that it's going to make that siren, it's going to really prevent people from keeping it. They're probably just going to drop it and run away and not want to take it with them because it's very loud. So that worked very well. We have video quality, so we can do it auto and let the camera decide how it wants to record. We 720, 1080p, or 2K. Of course, I picked 2K because it's better quality, and I noticed in recordings and such, it's a little bit sharper, and you can actually pinch the zoom and see a little bit more detail than you normally could with just 1080p. And when we have our compression rate, so advanced, it says consume less network bandwidth and save storage space, may not be compatible with some devices, or standard, which is it offers the best compatibility across the board. And besides that, we have firmware updates, so whenever they push out an update to the cameras, you can make sure your cameras are always up to date. We have three different options for night vision. So we have black and white night vision. Night vision is automatically enabled. The pictures will be in black and white. Spotlight night vision, it says night vision isn't automatically enabled for recording. The picture will be in color, but you will need to manually enable night vision during live view. And then we have off, so you can completely turn it off, which you can leave it off. Actually, for the front of my house, I could probably leave it off because I have a light right where the camera is, so I never need to use night vision. But either way, you can have that. That's an option you can play around with. Besides that, we have just network diagnostics and about the device. So those are just informational settings. So this is basically the menu. Once you have all the devices, you can add multiple cameras to here if you want to. But let's go ahead and check out the front view. So this is the live view. So when you just tap on that, it's going to show me the front of the house. So that is the front house right there. The different options at the bottom, I can force it to record. I can take a snapshot. I can speak through it. I can reply with auto replies that are set up. So you can say, you can leave it here. We will be right there. Please leave at the door. You can change the tone so it can be a male voice, a female voice, or a neutral voice. And then we have the volume. So you can, the volume of how loud you sound out there. Turn on the light, and obviously the quality. You can change the quality per camera right here also as well. I did show that in the settings, but you can also do that here. And if you want to see a larger view, you can just rotate it like that, and because it is 2K, it actually will stay pretty sharp even if you zoom in on certain areas. So that's basically how you would just tap that and you could start doing that. So on the screen right here, you can see the battery life. The battery life has been very good on these cameras. I've only charged them up once, and I've been using them, man, for a few weeks now. And obviously, depending on the location and how many alerts and recordings it takes, that will change how much battery life is being used up. If it's in an area that barely sees any movement or barely ever records, the battery life will last you a very long time. So only other options right here, there's one over here, and this is basically the account settings. So if you do want to get a subscription plan, this is where you would see those options here. You can adjust your quick replies, and then there's just general settings for push notification, voice and video call notifications, two-factor authentication, and those types of things like that. But then we have the events section. So these are all the different recordings and things that have been happening with this camera. So basically it tells you what kind of detection it was, so whether it was a motion or a human, and then it tells you which camera did it and then the date and time of it. So you just basically click on it and you can see an example of that. So that's when the car pulled into the house, it recorded that. And if you want to see that in sharper image, you can rotate it and see it larger. And like I said, because it is 2K, like I can even see like the car across the street. Like you can see a lot of information. And because I do have the timestamp, and this was a human notification, so this is me. I'm right over there. So see, it detected me as a human. It alerted me, let me know like there's a human in your backyard, which is me. And so they'll just keep going through all of these, and so they'll just keep taking up space off of the card. So these are all stored on the card. But if you ever want to delete any, you can just tap on whichever ones you don't need, like that, and say delete, and they will just take them off of the card. And so if you want to, if obviously you have a lot of recordings, you want to be able to see, like if I just wanted to see all the stuff that's being recorded, you hit the filter button and you can change it to be, I just want to see the front yard recordings, or I just want to see the backyard recordings, or I just want to see all the front yard recordings with a human, and you can like filter through all this, because obviously if your thing's going off constantly, it's going to be hard to find the exact type of alert that you have recorded in here. So that's the way you can get to that. And then obviously you could touch the date and you could jump to any specific date. So if something happened at your house a week ago, you can jump to a week and scroll through all those recordings from a week ago. Really easy to navigate, real simple interface. Definitely a very, very good job that Wuuk did on this app. It works really well, and it's pretty easy to use, and it's not that complicated to kind of get used to it. And after you set everything up, you hardly ever touch anything except when you see a notification. You just click on the notification, it jumps to live view and it lets you see what's happening, or you can check your recordings after the fact. So very well designed app. So overall, I am very impressed with this kit. Not only is it really easy to set up and use, but the app works really well, and I haven't had any issues with it whatsoever. It's been a really positive experience, and I recommend you guys checking this out if this is something that you're needing in your home to have some personal security. The fact that they're wireless, you can set them up wherever you want in your house, which is amazing. The battery life is going to last you a really long time, and everything just works very simple. Once it's set up and ready to go, it's very easy to use. So like I said at the beginning, I'll have a link in the description if you guys want to check this out on Amazon and purchase one for yourself. I'll have an affiliate link down there which supports me and the channel. If you guys have any questions about this product, post that in the comment section. I'll get back to you guys as quickly as possible. And if you want to check out some other reviews, I got 2 other clips over here you can click on. And don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel by clicking on my face, and also don't forget to ring that bell to be notified of all my new reviews as they drop on my channel. And I'll see you guys in the next video review.